turn around. Or are you cooking? Fun.
Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to meeting number 3. We're glad you all found your way here. So if you haven't seen me already, I'm Rose, and some updates for the open house. It's Thursday, April 21st. Please mark your calendars from 9:30 to 1. So it will be helpful if you go to your normal class so you can help out with the clients you normally help out with, but also if you're free any other part of that chunk of time, please think about that and maybe block off parts of those times, because it'd be helpful if you could be there for other sessions than you normally volunteer at, so you can help with like the raffle or being like a tour guide at the open house, things like that. So just something to start thinking about with your schedules. Also, we're going to be passing around some like client bio sheets to add a little bit more information to the Faces of Adapted Fitness that Hannah's making, so we can hang those up for the open house. They're going to have questions like how many years were they in adapted fitness, their accomplishment, their greatest accomplishment, maybe a goal they have. Those will be going around the next couple weeks in class, so just help facilitate that in class, let people know what's going on, that type of thing. And then I still am looking for some help asking for donations. First of all, thank you for all of you that have helped and gone to businesses, but there are a lot more places that we can ask, and hopefully they'll donate stuff to us. So if you can definitely come talk to me after class or after the meeting, and I can give you the forms and you can sign up for businesses. It's also a chance to get points for the leaderboard. So that's pretty much all I have.
Alright guys, so marketing news for the week, you guys should check out, we have a new client of the week today actually on our Facebook page. And also I was going to say, if you guys haven't liked our Facebook page, definitely like our Facebook page, and if we post things, if you don't mind, maybe give them a little like, because it's been boosting our Facebook engagement with the community in general. So in the future when we post things about the open house and stuff, it'll be reaching more people, and that's super helpful for marketing purposes. And I still have points opportunities for taking pictures for Faces of Adapted Fitness, which is sort of the same thing as Client of the Week. So we need people for the 10 to 11 class, 12 to 1, and pool classes still. If anyone wants to volunteer and take pictures and talk to the clients, I can give you more information if you talk to me after the meeting. We also have new t-shirts for this semester. They're going to be $10 a shirt, and any proceeds are going to be donated for LAF fundraising. And we're not sure exactly what those will be yet, because it sort of depends on however many shirts we order. But more information will be coming for that and how to order those on Thursday in class, so look out for that. And there's another opportunity for points for anyone who designs or sends me a design for the kids' summer program t-shirts. So, yep, that's pretty much all I have. If you go to the next slide, there's a closer look at the shirt if anyone wants to see.
It's apparently the first year we've had a red shirt, so we've done a lot of apparel for adaptive fitness, but we've never done red. So you might want this one.
And this was designed by Sarah Gomez. Sorry, is she here? No? I had to give her credit for that, but I totally forgot about that.
Same style as what Kate is wearing currently, as in the front, right? Okay, and yeah, it's different back than last year, though. Anything else?
Alright guys, as some of you know, because some of you were there, Berkey was this weekend, and it was a huge success. So there's a photo from Yasmina, photo credit to Yasmina, but I stole this off Facebook directly. So here are all our skiers after we finished the races. They all did a great job. I think they really all enjoyed themselves. I know I heard from most of them that they did, and I'm assuming the other ones I just didn't see afterwards. But they all liked it. It went really well. So congrats to all of them for the finish, and thank you to all the volunteers for all the help. And from me, that's about all you'll hear until we talk more about Junior Nationals with Greg. So that's all I have for you.
I don't have much this week, just the Chipotle fundraiser got finalized for April 11th, which is a Monday. And then we're going to be working on raffle at the open house to give out some prizes, hopefully raise some money. And now that it's getting warmer, we'll look into a bake sale. Probably by the Walgreens on State Street, I think is a good area. And if you were in the Polar Plunge, either volunteering or you participated in it, email me so you can get your points.
Okay, hi guys. So with Berkey being this past weekend, we did have some people get a chunk of points. So we have our leaderboard. Betty and Yasmina are in the lead with 7 points, and then Jim and Kristen with 6, and Autumn with 5. So we'll be doing this every meeting just so you can kind of see where people are at. And then at the end of the semester, we'll be giving away prizes to the people who are in the top 3 spots just for a little motivation. And then I probably shouldn't have just put that on the side because I already have the column here. So if you marked this on here, then I'll be giving you your 2 points. So I'll get that in probably tonight, and that'll be updated. And then does anyone still need the sign-in sheet afterwards? Nope. Okay. Thank you.
Alright, so the only thing I have, besides if you have dues with you tonight, find me after. I'd love them. Cycle for Sight, you guys may have heard about this, maybe at the NAT or the SURF. I think they have some flyers out. But essentially what it is, it's a fundraiser sponsored by the Eye Research Institute here at UW. All the money that they raise from this event will go to research on vision and blinding illnesses. So this is just like fun if you like spin classes. I think they're fun. They're kind of hard, but it's a good time. But so it's like a fun way to get 2 points for LAF. I have that on the last slide. So you'll get 2 points if you participate in this. It's $15, but you get a free t-shirt, and you're helping a really good cause. So if you're interested, here's the link for more information, and we can include that in the follow-up email as well for all of you. So that's all I have.
Shay.
I talked to Katie about this, and my husband and I are interested in perhaps getting a team together for the graduate dance classes. It can be participants, clients, students, volunteers, whatever. And I'd be happy to help organize and register a team, so you don't have to pay a registration fee for an individual. As far as I know, there's no limit as to the number of people we can have on the team. The only thing is if you're on a team, you have to guarantee that you're going to pay at least $100 towards the research, which my husband and I are going to be happy to, even if we don't raise quite enough. But we'd really like to make this possible because I think it's important research that they're doing for people. I have 2 friends who have degenerative eye disease, and they're losing their eyesight. One of them last year ran in the New York Marathon. So it's not a debilitating disease that you can't continue having quality life with, but it is something that we do need to do research on. And if you'd like to get involved with this, I'd be happy to help organize and coordinate a team if you want to get enough people to do that. You don't have to be available on the 12th to actually do the biking. You don't even have to necessarily show up at any of the sites that are listed. You can volunteer to just do biking on your own at a place and a time of your choosing, and just record the date and time and the distance that you did. And then there are awards for the amount of miles that are accumulated per team, and contributions obviously that get put in. So if you're interested in doing this, just let me know, and I'd be happy to help with it.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to do it, is to go as a team. And I think it would be fun if you guys could work out, like doing it on that day and all cycling together, because I like cycling classes, but it's hard to just like stay there and push yourself and like
It's definitely more fun
with other
another
people,
person.
for sure. So that would be awesome. Thanks for volunteering to do that, Shay. Yeah, so look into that more. Like, go on the website if you're a little confused. You can ask us more questions too, like after the meeting and after Greg talks. But it's just a way to get involved with the community and other things that are going on in the campus area. Okay, and so then this is the last thing. We're doing a really quick like update on what's going on and ways you can get points and stay involved. And then we're going to move to Greg. He is with Junior Nationals. I'm sure all of you have heard a little bit about it from Tim in the beginning speeches of class. But yeah, he's our main speaker tonight. He's going to talk to us more about what that is in the summer, how you could be involved now, or how you could be involved in the summer and stuff like that. But before we go there, I had two people in the community ask me if I could let you guys know that they're looking for aides, they're looking for helpers. Liz down at the bottom, she describes it more as a PT aid. So she just needs help with doing exercises and stuff like that. Karen, the way that it would be more applicable to exercise and the stuff that we love to do in adaptive fitness is her mornings. She goes to this warm water workout. And they're both really looking for people right now. Their contact info, like the best way to contact them is calling Karen and emailing Liz. In our recap email, we'll give you like more information about each of them, but Karen's on campus, so if you're younger or you don't have a car, she's really close. She's on Dayton and Broome. It's like down the street from me. So it's very convenient to get to her, and she has her own van, and you guys would go together if you did have the availability to do a morning shift. But I think right now she is looking for both morning and afternoon. And she's also looking for a very strong, athletic, determined, fun woman. So, no guys. And Liz, I'm not so sure. Maybe she would take a guy.
I think Liz is women as well.
All women. Okay.
Yeah.
So sorry guys. This is only experience for girls, but it's great for patient contact. It's great if you want to go into nursing, PT, OT, anything in healthcare. You get experience like relating to a client or a patient and communicating with them. And it's a great resume builder for wherever you want to go. Both of them are paid. They pay pretty well for something that's very relevant to, I think, what a lot of us want to go into. So they really are looking for people. So if you're at all interested, contact them, ask more questions. And that's all I have. Oh, and then we're going to do this now because, like I said, Jake's going to explain it a little bit more. He'll introduce Greg, but these are the leadership opportunities for this week. Again, with Hannah and creating that kids t-shirt design, Tim really wants one. So if you're at all interested in creating a design or you have any idea, just give the idea, even if you can't design it or something like that. We definitely, the program's been around for a long time, and there's no like marketing design, and it would really help the kids and the parents. Are constantly saying we want a t-shirt and they don't have any. So there's definitely a need for that, and you'd get points for doing it. If you're free during the adaptive fitness times, some other time than when you are actually there helping a client, come in and take pictures and do this. It's a fun way to interact with clients that you don't know because you're in a different class period of time. And then again, the Cycle for Sight, maybe we can figure out a way to get Shay's email in our recap email or something like that so that you guys can make that team if you're interested in getting points that way and getting involved in the community that way. And then, again, we're looking for more fundraising ideas. Did I miss anything? Oh, and then asking businesses. So that's the biggest need we have right now for open house. Open house is coming up. It'll turn into a lot of work, and so we want to take care of this stuff that can happen earlier now. So we definitely need people to just. It would take like 15 minutes to go to the State Street area.
You can sign up for like 3 places right next to each other and get them done within like 15 minutes. It'd be a huge help though.
Yes, I know Rose needs that. So that's it for updates.
Last thing here, we have a speaker next week, 2 weeks from now on March 8th, Catherine Hagel from MSCR, Madison School Community Recreation. She'll be talking about her inclusive approach to recreation in the schools. And then Tim just brought this up to me about a week ago about adaptive climbing. We have adaptive equipment now for climbing. And he has this idea.
Come in front.
Sorry. I feel like I'm in the middle. He has this idea to get a rock climbing event or continuous event at Union South. So this is in the very early works, but if anyone's interested, this might be a great leadership opportunity to start talking with me and Tim, and we can maybe form this and get this happening in the community, because Union South has nothing for adaptive climbing right now, and there may be a lot of students who would like to do that. And then finally, we've been talking about Junior Nationals, and I know a lot of people don't know exactly what that is. They might be confused still. So we decided to bring in the national chairman himself, games director, Greg Baumgarten. I said that right? Correct. So
You're a good Wisconsin boy.
So I'll let him introduce himself, but he's our speaker tonight. So let's welcome him.
Thanks, folks. As Jake mentioned, my name is Greg Baumgarten. By vocation, I'm a retired school principal in the Mesa, Arizona School District.
Wait, let me stop you for a moment. So we have people at home. And
Oh,
so we'd love it, yes. If
oh
you
my.
Could.
Oh, I didn't know I was
You're
on
being recorded.
streaming. Okay, I think this is the first. Do I need to be in the light
No,
like
you
this?
can turn this on. You can turn the projector on.
That
I
would
don't
be
know how though. That's
that would be good.
the only problem. I have no idea.
All right, very good. Okay,
It'll turn on.
there we go. All right. So I'm a retired school principal from the Mesa, Arizona School District. Before that, 21 years as an adapted physical education teacher. That was my love. That's what I got into, working with kids with disabilities. Along the way, I founded Arizona Disabled Sports and also the Desert Challenge Games, which is the only International Paralympic Committee Grand Prix event in North America. Over 400 athletes from 32 countries. When I founded it, it was 8 kids in a dirt field in Mesa High. So, that's the way these things can grow. And so, Adaptive Sports USA, founded in 1956, General Omar Bradley, the Bulova Corporation, trying to address all the needs of World War II and Korean conflict vets who needed, the same types of things that our vets need today. They need to have lifetime leisure activities. They need to get back and do healthy kinds of things and get them back on track. And that's how we started way back when. The Adaptive Sports USA Junior Nationals is the oldest and largest continuous competitive sports event for junior athletes ages 7 to 22 in North America. It's this year, the 2016 Junior Nationals at Middleton High School will be our 33rd annual Junior Nationals, which is something we're pretty proud of, because when you went back to 1984, there wasn't a whole lot for kids with physical disabilities. As leaders in awareness of adaptive fitness and activities and things like that, some of the challenges that we face. When I go to the airport or I'm doing my elevator talk or something like that, 9 out of 10 people, when I explain to them we're doing Junior Nationals for disabled kids, what are they going to tell me? Special Olympics, right? That's what 90% of the people will respond, and that's all right. I started in Special Olympics, but it's very much an awareness thing. And the kids with physical disabilities, the kids with spinal cord injury, the kids with cerebral palsy, the kids with amputation, all of those kids are very aware that in the public perception, it's not the first thing that jumps out at them. So one of the things that's really important for us is to get that public awareness, to really build that understanding that, these kids are truly athletes. They're focused, they're working out, they're doing all the same things that every other athlete does. So that's kind of the purpose for Junior Nationals, is that springboard, is that mechanism for providing them that opportunity for the doors opening. Just as a quick aside, and you all are way, way, way too young to remember, but right now the disabled sports movement, and I call it a movement because it's as much about equal rights and opening doors as it is anything else. But right now the disabled sports movement is kind of where women's sports was 50 years ago before the advent of Title IX. None of you can remember what that's like, but I remember in high school when the girls would come once a week to Girls Athletic Association, and they would have their meeting, and then they'd go out and play volleyball, or they'd go out because they didn't have the physical stature or strength or stamina. Those were the arguments that you heard, and it was ongoing. So truly, right now, the disabled sports movement is where the women's sports movement was 50 years ago before Title IX. Junior Nationals is that mechanism that provides the awareness and the springboard for people to move on. In 2012 London Paralympics, Team USA fielded 242 athletes, and they did quite well. 42% of the athletes that competed in London in the 2012 Paralympics were alumni of the event that's going to be held at Middleton High School. The Rio, and I would encourage all of you, especially as leaders in adaptive fitness, NBC is going to have over 100 hours of televised time of coverage of the Paralympic Games, not the Olympics. 100 hours of the Paralympic Games. And I would encourage all of you to watch that and to learn as much as you can. And when you're watching it, know that about half of those athletes came and graduated from this event and went on to the next level. All of our athletes are not going to go on to the next level. As a matter of fact, it's a small percentage that moves on. But we're providing those lifetime leisure activities, the same sorts of things that you're doing in your adapted fitness programs. We're providing, opening those doors. A lot of our kids are now getting scholarships to universities, University of Illinois, Whitewater, basketball team. A lot of our athletes are getting scholarships that are opening doors to their education, lifetime leisure activities, health habit, all of the benefits that all of us know can be derived from competitive sports. They're now starting to be able to appreciate that and experience that. So, Junior Nationals, we're expecting hopefully 300 kids. Fingers crossed. It's a Paralympic year, guys. So it's kind of a roll of the dice, because a lot of the more elite junior athletes might be tempted to go to the Paralympic trials instead of juniors, on the outside chance that they could qualify for Team USA and go to Rio. And I guess I can understand that kind of reasoning, although many of them aren't. The reality is it's highly competitive. But it's a Paralympic year, so it's kind of up in the air just how many kids we're going to get. But 300 kids. Last year, I think we had about 40 states represented, 39 states represented. So they're coming from all over. One of the things we want to do more than anything else, and I know we've talked to a lot of you, we want to make this a legacy event. And I'm going to be real frank, folks, there hasn't been a lot for kids with physical disabilities in the state of Wisconsin in the past in terms of competitive sports and things like that. We want to make this a legacy event. We want to build something where we have trained coaches and we have trained officials, and especially, and I know there's a lot of interest in this room, especially trained classifiers. And I'm not going to get into classification because I could go on for hours, but there's a need for that structure, that foundation, in order to build on the opportunities for track and field, for swimming, for archery, for powerlifting, and all of the other things. We want to leave that legacy. So one of the things that we're planning on doing is hopefully, God willing, we're going to do a regional. And I know Tim's got the summer camp with about 20 kids, I believe he said.
20 he wants to.
Okay, so you know what? Those 20 kids are going to be our foundation. I know my friend Cindy Hausner down in Great Lakes Adaptive Sports Association in Gurnee, Illinois. She's got some kids in Wisconsin. Let's bring the 25 together. Let's do a training. Let's get the stopwatches out. Let's get the tape measures out. Nothing fancy, but let's get 20 kids at Junior Nationals this year, and let's build Team Wisconsin, and then go from there. You know, get kids from La Crosse, get kids from Sheboygan, get kids from River Falls, but start with that core group. Let's build a legacy where, you know what, Wisconsin's going to be represented every year in Junior Nationals. So July 16th to the 23rd, track and field, swimming, table tennis, powerlifting, air guns for the first year, 10-meter, it's a Paralympic event, 10-meter air guns is one of our events. Table tennis, I don't know if I said that or not. I'm sure I'm forgetting one. And we're real excited this year. And this is going to be the first to my knowledge, in the United States, is a paratriathlon event only for junior athletes. So the paratriathlon over at Middleton High School, around the trails, Pheasant Branch trails and around there. To my knowledge, this is the first paratriathlon for the young ones. And they are, it's making me a little nervous. I think we're going to find some in the ditch here, the way they're getting a little excited about this. But it's exciting. It's exciting. And so that's kind of it in a nutshell. I'm not going to, I know I don't want to take all your time. I appreciate everyone's enthusiasm. I'm getting emails and everybody's like, and what can I do? And you know what? And it's exciting to me. Well, it's a challenge to me because I got to figure out what everyone's going to be doing. But the second thing is, it's just, you know what? For those of us that have been doing this a long time, it's just really kind of gratifying to see all the young people that are kind of picking up the banner and really getting excited about it and really wanting to make a difference in kids' lives. And I can guarantee you, if you get involved in this, folks, there's going to be a lot of times, and you're going to pull your hair out, and I'm a living example of that. But you know what? It's one of the most gratifying, satisfying things when you can see a kid. I've had 4 kids in the Paralympics, and that's great. But some of my greatest moments of pride have been some of those kids that could barely get out of their chair, and that truly is pretty neat, and you get a lot of satisfaction out of that. So, and I'm going to quit before I start getting emotional. Quick questions. You know, I know I don't even know if I covered what you wanted me to cover. Yes.
Is there certain rules that athletes can only do the trials or what you have going on?
Well,
at the same time?
No, there isn't. But what it ends up being is I better stand over in front of you. But what ends up happening is it's a financial thing. You know, the trials are where are the trials? Out west somewhere. And so no, it wouldn't necessarily be one or the other, but it becomes a financial thing more than anything else. You know, just can't afford to hit them all. So, good question. Jake.
You mentioned classification.
Yes.
A lot of people probably don't know what that is.
Okay.
So,
All right. Well, and I'm going to try and make this real brief. And how many of you are kinesiology majors or in the field, or I'm assuming most of you are in that area or something? Okay. With parasport and adaptive sports, the whole premise and the whole focus is to make the competition as fair and as equitable as possible. And obviously, so you don't want to be sending out a kid who's, you know, low-level spinal cord injured pushing in a chair against a kid who only has one arm, you know, and is pushing in a chair, or those sorts of things. So we have a classification system, and it's based on manual muscle testing, you know, range of motion, and I'm the last one that should be describing what classification is. I don't even like classification, but it's one of those necessities that we have. But they go through and they just so kids that don't have adductors or abductors or have any abs or any of those types of things, they go through and they figure out, you know, who's got triceps, who, you know, or who doesn't, you know, those sorts of things. And they have classifications, and the whole premise upon which the classification system is built is to equalize the competition, to make it fair, to level the playing field. So you've got, as an example, for wheelchair track, you have T51s who are pretty high level injury. Okay, and so you know they don't have use. They're maybe pushing with the backs of their hands or those types of things, all the way up to T54, and those people will smoke you. I guarantee you when they're going down the track. And so it's those different levels. Field F44, amputee or clubfoot or those types of involvement. Just different types of classifications where the athletes are going to be lumped in a similar motor functioning class that's going to make the competition fairer. Did that? Okay. Whenever I go into this, I'm like, it's an adventure into the unknown, let me tell you.
So could you kind of explain what you intend to do with the qualifier that you want to hold in Wisconsin?
Yeah, an excellent question. It's going to be very low key, okay? I mean, it's going to be like the first Desert Challenge, 8 kids in a dirt field. But what I'd really like to do, and this is, I want to raise some funds to bring in a couple of our classifiers. We have a young lady who's actually a UW grad, and I got her involved 26 years ago. I don't know if she's still talking to me or not, but she's a close friend. But she's a UW grad, and she is one of the international Paralympic classifiers. So she goes, as a matter of fact, if she comes out here, in 2 weeks, she has to fly to Switzerland to go and those sorts of, Brazil, all of those sorts of things. So we'd like to bring in the classifiers. And so any of you that are interested, this isn't good. You're not going to get certified. You're not going to go out and start classifying people. But what we really want to do is plant that seed. You learn what classification is about from the people who really, truly know what classification is about. And then you'll know the steps that it's going to take, if you're serious about it, to go on. And I'd like to do a coaching clinic for those of you that want to coach kids. How do you hit the rims? How do you fit a kid in a bucket? What's a compensator? All of those sorts of things that coming in off the street, you're not going to know. And so, coaches clinic. I'd also like to do an officials clinic for the officials and stuff, and that would be pretty easy. A lot of it is good carryover. And then for the kids, in the afternoon, basically, as I said, keeping it simple, stopwatches, tape measures. We'll get Bobby in lane 1, and we'll say, Bobby, you have to stay in this lane for 100 yards, and just go through helmets, equipment. They can push in their everyday chairs. They don't have to have the fancy racing chairs. As a matter of fact, I recommend for a lot of the kids, until they're sure, some of those racing chairs cost $3,000-$4,000. So that's a big investment if they're only going to if they decide 6 months later they're not going to be in it. So everyday chairs. We won't get into the 5,000 or anything like that. We'll just do the 1, 2, 4. And if someone wants to do, maybe some of Cindy's kids have been involved in it a while, and it'd be a good thing to watch. Maybe the 800 and the 15. And then shot put, showing the mechanics of the shot put, the discus, and we're done. And it shouldn't take long with 20 kids. But that's another excellent opportunity for all of you to see how it's done, what the mechanics are, how to set up a competition, simple competition, because that's, some of you, if you end up in Chautauqua or someplace, it's like you're not going to have a whole lot of resources. So to be able to know when you get those kids coming through your classroom, and they're going to come through your classroom in a chair or in a walker or something like that. Hey, have you ever considered competitive sports? Have you ever considered track and field? Have you ever thought about doing that? And you now have the basic knowledge. You're not going to know it all, but you're going to have the basic knowledge where I can get that kid involved in sports. So that was a long answer to your question.
That was a good answer.
Yes.
Harder question. So that's something that you're wanting to happen earlier to kind of lay the groundwork in Wisconsin. But
Exactly.
then at the actual event, Junior Nationals, how can we get involved? How could we
Well, and
potentially-
there's a lot of good questions there. we have a lot of needs, and I know a lot of you have been reaching out. We've got the different venues, the track and field venue, swimming, and so on. I've got kind of a breakdown, and I think, how many of you are on the email distribution list that I sent out on this meeting and everything? Are any of you? So just a few. All right.
Sent it out to the members.
Okay. You know what? If you're interested, I've got this here, and you got to write small. It's not very big, but put your name down, put your interest, and then your contact phone number and email. In terms of your interests, we need logistics people, and logistics is basically helping with setup, takedown, setting up the field pits. Hydration, water, all of the types of things that are the logistics behind the scenes. I've got it. Jay, can you grab those handouts? Right? I've got a few of them, and I can leave these. I'll leave these with you, Kayla. But I don't have enough to go around everyone. But if I get everyone's email, I can send them out to you. All right. But the venues: air guns, archery, track and field, para-tri, table tennis, powerlifting, and swimming. We're going to need a committee in each of those to make sure we have all the officials, all the equipment, basically that all the volunteers are coordinated. Is Michaela here? Okay. Michaela had volunteered to coordinate volunteers and stuff, so we have to talk between the different groups and stuff. Logistics team, transportation. The officials will need transportation back and forth. We're going to rent vans and so on, but we'll need people that actually know where they're going and those sorts of things. So the hydration vendors, we're going to have food vendors. We'll have our T-shirt vendors and those sorts of things that we're going to have to coordinate and make sure they're in the right places. Signage, setup and cleanup. The volunteers team, and this is what I've talked to Michaela about. Volunteer captains to coordinate in each area, make sure that the venues are being taken care of and everything. And if you give us 4 hours, we'll give you a T-shirt. So a little perk for being a volunteer. I'm doing two different things here. Okay. Administration registration, that's a biggie for us, folks. All the athletes have to be registered in. They have to be checked in. The classification takes place that first weekend. It's like an emergency room. It's triage in an emergency room or something. People are going all over the place. But we check them in. They get their bags, their goodie bags, their T-shirts. They'll have plaques. And then they'll get their awards afterwards. The Nerve Center. The Nerve Center is a big, we've got all of our results come in there. They're tabulated. It's crazy time, but it's a lot of fun. And then hospitality. We want to do some activities for the kids, and it's always, karaoke night is just like crazy. And Junior Nationals has talent. We almost had to can that last year. The talent got a little wild there, but those kinds of activities and stuff. So, and then support services, things like the announcer, our banquet, our awards banquet, the socials again, first aid, medical, and then I'm going to have a separate group for meal plan. Meals are going to be a big thing for us. The lunches and the coordination and everything. So you know what? I'll just leave all these with you. And so go through that and take a look. And if anyone's got an interest, let me know.
I want to clarify with those things. All right, so you're looking for someone that might want to take on being in charge of.
Absolutely.
Or volunteering in that area during the actual event. You know,
the one thing that has struck me with many of the emails that I've gotten in terms of the focus, and I have little doubt that many of you could take a leadership role in this. There's no question in my mind. And so if that's something that you really truly feel that you're up for, and be careful what you ask for. Let me just put that out there right away. Be careful. But if it's something that you truly feel like it's something you want to take on, drop me an email. And you know what? I didn't put my email up here.
We can put it in a recap email.
Yeah, we send out a recap email, so we can.
All right. Well, let me put it up here, and then it's actually changed. And
Okay.
so, as of January 1st, Wheelchair and Ambulatory Sports USA became Adaptive Sports USA. So we are new. It's the same old organization, but we are a new brand. We're excited about the brand. But my new email is adaptivesportsusa.org. Now, don't worry if you send it to wasusa.org, my old email address, because it'll still get there. But that is my new email address. Junior Nationals website, www.juniornationals2016.com. All one word. juniornationals2016.com. If you go to that website, it's going to give you a lot of it'll give you the schedule. It'll give you a lot of information. Right now there's nothing posted on volunteers. It's still pretty early, but once we get kind of things worked out in terms of committees and everything, we're going to start putting the word out on volunteers and things like that. A good history of the organization, a history of Junior Nationals. There's a lot of information on the website, so feel free to do that. Any last questions at all? I just want to thank you that this opportunity is amazing, and like I said, it's just gratifying for us oldies, the ones very long in the tooth here. You know, I was in the first cadre, and this was before, well, you were either in Pampers or it was before you were born. But the very first cadre of certified adaptive PE teachers, CAPES, I was in that first group, and there was fewer than 500 in the nation. And it was really a point of pride from the standpoint of bringing the profession forward professionally, and from a certification standpoint, and also just as a indicator of knowledge and so on. So you've got a great history in terms of where you're coming out of with your undergrad, and I wish you a lot of luck, and thanks for being here, and I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Quick comment. Sorry,
No, go
LAF
ahead.
members, I just put the sheets that Greg handed me on that back table. So if on your way out you want to check out the kind of details about every coordinating spot he offered, then you can write down in his notebook, as he said on the way out, the spot you'd be interested in volunteering or leading, and maybe specify if you'd want to take on a leadership role with that, as in you'd want to be the coordinator of that position, or if you just want to. Or co-coordinator. That's a tongue twister. But yeah, please indicate what you want to do. So feel free to check out those sheets. There's about 5 or 6 of them back there. Just kind of page through. He has details about what he spoke about, in case you can't remember all of the information that's just been put in your heads. Okay.
Yes.
Well, and truly, in terms of the committees themselves, put your email address on there, and I'll revamp my whole distribution list, and then I'll make sure that you get the stuff that I've sent out before. So I've sent a lot of stuff out before, but I don't know who's getting it. It's one of those deals.
Yeah, so that'll be it for our meeting tonight. But Greg is staying, and so if you're interested, he's going to have a meeting to talk more specifically about planning and starting the process of this qualifying thing that we want to get off the ground and kind of start in UW-Madison. And so if you're interested in being part of that meeting, you can stay. If you have to leave, that's fine. You know, just get involved through the email. But that's what's happening now for the remainder of the evening.
We'll get a little more in depth, but we'll have everybody out of here by 9 if you want to stick around.
That's good. So